Hi everyone. So what you see here is a animated avatar with Google Mediapipe. Google finally decided to update Mediapipe library so we can use face tracking and head tracking not only for the face mesh, but we can get blend shape values too now. And I want to show you how you can use this on a readyplayerme avatar and make yourself an application just like this one. And the cool thing is it is going to be open source and you will be able to use it in your readyplayerme supported applications. Let's get to the tutorial. So before we start the project, I just want to go to Mediapipe documentation and show you also how that works. I will share again all the URLs in the description of the video so you can follow up with them. So we will use face landmark detection library, and documentation is right here. Just because I have huge beard and mustache, so it doesn't really work that well with my face, but still it's impressive. And it runs on the browser. If you are using Google Hangout, if you use this virtual meetings, you definitely use the filters before. And this is exactly what Google uses in their own products. This is the reason it's really, really good. The idea is to use them on readyplayerme avatars. And for this project, I expect you to have some React knowledge because I'm not gonna cover any basics of it. Just go along and make the project. So before we get to the documentation, let's go create a empty folder, and let's call it face tracking RPM. And I'll get this library to, so what I'm gonna do is I'll go to command line. You can go to command line either typing CMD in your search bar in Windows or right clicking and opening terminal. So what I'm gonna do is I will say npx. Again, I expect you to have Node Package Manager and Node installed. npx create React app, and the name is going to be RPM face tracking, and I think it was double dash template type script. I like to use TypeScript. Well, it's much better than JavaScript, I will have to be honest with you. And let's start this. I hope I didn't have any typo. And yes, it is creating the project. It's gonna take a while. I might cut this part. But so the idea is that we are going to use Mediapipe. We are going to use readyplayerme avatars. We are going to use React 3 Fiber and 3JS to visualize the avatar. And yeah, basic camera tricks. The camera feedback will be fed into the predictor, and blend shapes are going to be pretty much casted onto the face, because with the avatar API of readyplayerme, now you can get an avatar with different blend shapes as you like. So we are going to use the set of ARKit, which Mediapipe provides to us. Let's wait for this to finish. All right, so we have the project. Let's open up VS Code. Again, mostly for web projects, I'm using VS Code. Well, that is just my preference. Face tracking readyplayerme. Okay, this is on the other window. So let me show you like this. Trust and open. In VS Code, I opened my readyplayerme face tracking project. So we have a clean, nice, empty project. And I'm gonna go to terminal. From the bottom down here, you can go to terminal. And I'm gonna run the project, npm run start. So it's gonna start the project in localhost. And oh, something is already running. Probably I had two instances. Yeah, while I was recording the video, I had the other instance on. So let me just turn this off. It's gonna start in 3001. And yeah, we have an empty React project. Cool. So let's get rid of everything in here. So we don't need these, and we don't need React logo or anything else. This is gonna be our empty shell project. Let's say test. All I wanna see on the screen is now tests now, and I do. So let's get back to the project. What I want to have is I will have an input field and a video and my avatar, a canvas. So I can actually quickly say input text. Let's go find it. I should have maybe just written it. Yeah, input text, ID not necessary, placeholder, enter your RPM avatar URL, and it's gonna have a on change, and let's call it handle on change handle on, holy shit, handle on change, holy shit, I need to cut this part because I can't English apparently. So I will have this const handle on change method here to later set the URL. It can stay empty for now. Yeah. So what I want to do is I will have a setup method which would help me pretty much set up the scene, the video and the predictor and everything. But before that, actually, let me just add the video as well. So I'm just gonna say video, and there will not be any source. It can be autoplay, and ID can be video because I will need to capture this later. I'll auto close this. I do not need to close and tag like that. And this place I will have my UI canvas, but we haven't imported the libraries yet, so I don't need to go there just yet. I'll go here. Here's my input field. There's nothing about video because we haven't set it yet. So let's get to the setup function. Const, let's call it setup, and arrow function, and we will have our things here. What I want to do is I want to put the setup method into use effect, so it runs only when we refresh this whole component, which is the container application component that is inside the index. This is gonna run once because I do not want this to all trigger all the time. Use effect and setup, and then let's close it. No, nothing necessary to check for. It's gonna run only once, and that is all. All right. So cool. What do I need here to now get the video and set it? So this is the part I'm gonna start with, set up the video, then we will get to the Mediapipe part. Let's say I'm gonna create like variable here. Let video HTML video element type, and I will set this video here. Maybe I should just turn off because I really hate autocomplete just does the stuff for me when I'm recording videos. So let's get it from the HTML page document, get element by ID in this case because we already have video as ID in here. I'm gonna just say video, it gets it by ID, and as HTML video element. Why I'm doing this is because I'm using TypeScript, and the get element by ID might also give me null. I do not want null, I want HTML video element, so I'm gonna cast it to HTML video element. So I'm kind of forcing it to do it. So what we are going to do now, using this video element in the UI, I'm gonna call navigator to set the user media, and then set the stream into this video. So what do we do is navigator and media devices and user media. Yep, user media. Get user media, and here we can pass some options, and then this is going to be it's going to result in a promise. So I can immediately call then, and then get the stream from this. Let's call this stream, not this. It's going to be a variable, not a type. stream, and arrow function, I'm going to set the stream into my video. So src source object, because this is not a text, this is a stream, it's a source object, not a source string. I'm setting the stream, this is it. And as for options, what I want to set is like audio false. I do not remember if the false is default value. Maybe we could check. So media constraints, doesn't say. Probably audio false is default, so maybe I do not need to set that. I'm just gonna say video. So I'm gonna set the size of the video. So I'm telling that it's gonna be video, and it will be with 1280 and height 720. So this is my camera's dimensions. It's like HD. So whatever your camera supports, you can use it here. I assume the bigger is better, because more pixels Google Mediapipe can catch, you know, better the quality of the result will be. So let's save this. What's happening right now is that app component runs. In use effect, setup is going to run once. We will capture the video element, and we are going to set the stream into the video. So I'm assuming, all right. So you can see the browser refreshed, and it's already asking for permission. So I'm going to allow that. It, for some reason, automatically picks OBS right now. All right, what happened is I ended up restarting the browser as a whole, because my camera was being used and it was defaulting to OBS video. So this is it. Well, we will need some CSS to beautify this and shrink the size of the camera feedback, make the input field much nicer. But overall, this is how it's gonna work. So we have the video input, we have the things, and so I'll just quickly make things look a little nicer. So I think we do not need any of these. I'll just remove this stuff. So let's say I have a video component. What I want is width should be let's say 480 pixels. Size is gonna fit automatically. I'm probably same for the input. Input field should be with 480 pixels. All right, so I also should say display flex, I assume. Whoa, not really. Let me go here to the code. So the let's say what was flex direction should be column. So we have everything aligned in a column, and justify content to center as well, and align items to center as well. And this should do it. And I'll set position relative, because I might play with the position of the things inside the input and the video and the avatar itself. So let's leave it like this. Yep. Okay, nice. So URL is here, video here. I intend to have the 3D model here. And at this point, what we are going to do is importing our libraries. I'm gonna stop the project here. And what we're gonna do is npm install react-3 fiber, react-3 dry. So fiber brings all the canvas and other basic components of 3JS for React, and dry has lots of functions for you know, making things easier for you. It's like a utility library. This is how we are, for example, going to load the GLB files, the readyplayerme avatars. And of course, I'm gonna use some of the types from 3JS itself. So I'm gonna bring 3 as well. So these are like definitely, let me tell you this, if you are a web developer, learn 3JS and learn React 3 fiber set. It is like the web is going 3D and you really need to know this. So I'll just do my advertisement and move on. So I have my libraries now. I can create my canvas. So one tag we get from React 3 fiber is canvas with capital C. This is not the regular canvas from the HTML. So I'm just going to, let's quick fix import from React 3 fiber. So it should edit right here. Nice. What I'm gonna do is, so I'm gonna put my 3D object here, but I need to set the environment a bit. I'm gonna add an ambient light. All right, it's catching them automatically. Again, self-closing tag, I do not need to close it like this. No children will be there. Intensity should be, I think it's 0, it's 1 by default. I'm gonna make it 0.5. And I'm gonna add a point light, maybe a couple of point lights even, because yeah, I wanted to have this kind of, you know, like red from one side, green from one side kind of style. So so I can set the position as a number array 1 1 1. So you can consider this is like front y-axis 1 up there, and on the x-axis on the left side, I suppose. Might be right, but so color is gonna be white. So I'm gonna add a new color to this, and there's gonna be a new color. Color will be coming from 3JS. This is the reason I needed it, because I will need some types. And I'm gonna make this red. So red, 0 blue, 0 green, and intensity can be 0.5. And let's close this tag. I'm gonna copy paste this. So I'm gonna move this light to other side, x-axis -1, and yeah, it can be front, and y can be maybe 0. So it would be from the center, the light itself, and we can make this blue. So yeah, right now, well, you won't see anything because there is no object in the scene, so light is not affecting anything at the moment. And maybe just, yeah, let's make the background color black of the app. I think maybe even let's say body, and not a dot here, it's not a class tag. Body and HTML has background color black. Yeah. And so application could have, let's call it like I want to see if the area is correct. Come on. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay, I was not running the project at all. So run start. Yeah, after importing the packages, I forgot to run it. Let's close this. Let's see the colors. Yeah, okay. I thought it would just have like a center column, but it looks like this. Well, I'll just remove this ugly color. Black is fine in the background. And so let's go back to the project. What I want to do at this point is create my 3D avatar component and put it in here. So what are we going to do? So I will need another JSX component. So I can create a new object here, a new file here, but I think I'm just gonna create it here, just the sake of keeping everything in a single file. Let's call it avatar. It's going to be not the arrow function, just the function itself. So this is going to return nothing, let's say, and this is my basic function, the parentheses. So I'm gonna have my avatar component right down here. again, self-closing, do not need this. So what are we going to do in avatar is that first of all, I want to load a GLB file, and then I'm going to try to access its blend shapes and set the values every time, you know, some kind of update function fires. Just like React hooks, 3JS also comes with some hooks. Actually, React 3 Fiber comes with use frame hooks. It's like an update function that you would have in the, you know, game engines. So we can actually use that instead of calling for, you know, like a setting for a new frame, calling like this new set new frame function or something JavaScript has. So instead of that, so in this case, what I'm gonna do is, first of all, create a const, let's say avatar object, and I'm gonna use gltf from, where does it comes from, dry, and I will paste a URL here. So I can actually go to readyplayerme website at this point, readyplayerme, and get myself a readyplayerme avatar. So the guy I showed you in the initial video that I tested this project with is here. Let's copy his URL. This is my avatar, that actually me, and I'm gonna paste this here. So cool. So the thing is, with the avatar API, you can actually have a chance to add parameters to your avatar URL and, well, get the avatar with different configurations, one of which is morph targets. And here I pasted the bare URL, GLB URL. I'm gonna have a parameter called morph target. Maybe it was targets. I can't exactly remember. Targets, yeah. And I'm gonna say ARKit. AR and K capital. Kit is with, you know, Pascal case. So this will bring this avatar to me with all the ARKit blend shapes on it. So this is great. And all right, so what I want to do is I'm gonna get so I want to access the nodes of this avatar. So I'm gonna say nodes from, again, React 3 Fiber has this use graph function. So use graph, and what use graph does is it takes the avatar dot scene, it gets the main scene from the GLB and uses it in the project itself. So where did it go? Okay, I couldn't import it actually, so let's import it from React 3 Fiber, use graph. Yeah, it's right here. So now I have access to all the nodes. At this point, well, I won't be able to do anything. I'm just gonna try to set this in the UI so you can see it. I'm gonna create a primitive tag and set its object to my avatar dot scene and close tag. So I'm gonna get to the nodes later when we actually deal with the blend shapes. So what is happening is that I load the GLB file and I put the GLB file into a primitive object, and that goes into my canvas and it's gonna be on the screen. So let's go to the project. Well, you can see something back far in there, and yeah, it's like small because the canvas height is could be short. So what we can do is, let's actually position this. So I can say position, which is one of the attributes we can, parameters we can add here. Again, I'm gonna pass a number array, x0, y0, and z. We need to move this forward from the center of the scene. Let's say 4. Let's see how. Okay, now I can see the legs of it. Maybe I should make the style of the canvas also different, because background is black and the outfit is black. It's not so visible. So let's do this. I'm gonna go to canvas, style, and I want to say background color, purple, and also height of the canvas maybe 400. So let's see how this looks. Yeah, purple is kind of too dark, but again, you can see this entire area is now the canvas. I'm gonna make the FOV field of view of the, I think it should be in the, not in the style, of course. Camera has this, a canvas has this camera object that we can set. FOV should be maybe 25. How that would look. Or maybe it's too close. So regardless, I'm gonna move this avatar down 1 point, let's say 5, minus 1.5. Yeah, this is one of the ugly parts, like trying to move the avatar right and left and up and down to catch the perfect position. So let's make it 6.5. All right, so I can see light is emitting. I get the light is visible, like not emitting, but reflecting from the head on the shoulders, so you can clearly see that, and it's good enough when you consider the position. You can do a lot of CSS part of this later, so that's not the really important part here. We have the avatar, so input field, video, avatar, everything is there. Of course, now the important part, Mediapipe. You've been saying, where is the AI? Where is the face tracking part? Because yeah, this part was the easy part. Let's go to documentation of Mediapipe. So it's actually cool because they already have some where was it? Yeah, some web example. You can go to Code Sandbox to see what is going on there, and there's also a guide. I'm gonna click on the guide because there are some code examples here. It again explains everything. Please read the documentation, really useful. First thing we will do is actually installing the tasks vision package. So I'm gonna copy this node package, install Mediapipe tasks vision. So I'm gonna kill this process, paste this, wait for it to install, and then I'm gonna run it again. So npm run start, and then let's go back to the documentation. Yeah, so this is not related to us because we got it as a node package, and so here is what we need. So first of all, we are going to set the project. So we need this vision object. It's gonna fetch the wasm file and the library through this address. So let's visit this and see actually what is there. So you will see it is going to download this wasm internal and no SIMD JavaScript loaders and the wasm files. So these are actually what is going on, the libraries themselves. And we are going to create a landmarker from the options we provide to it. So this is going to be, so for image and video, there's a actually simple example here, code example. Image is simpler because you can have like an image in the screen, or file as a file, you can upload it and get the landmarks. As for video, we are going to send the result every frame. So, and then let's get to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this first line, and where we are going to put this is in our setup function, because I want to run it only once. I want to set this up only once when this component is loaded. So I'm going to paste this here. I can actually get rid of this comment here and move it here. Nice. And so file set resolver is not here. I'm going to say quick fix and import it from Mediapipe tasks vision. So this is going to give me a promise and I need to await for it. So this is the reason I'm going to turn my setup function into a async function now. Other cool thing is you can fire async functions through use effect. You cannot really await for them in there, but this is gonna be a fire and forget thing for us. And so from the options, we are going to create our len marker. So I'm gonna copy this as well. I'm gonna bring this down here. So what we have here is this is one of the bugs, actually, I would say, in there. This shouldn't be lowercase. This is face len marker, and I'm gonna import this as well from Mediapipe. So there's a documentation mistake, so guys, take care of it. And running mode is going to be video, because we want to get things from video. And so path to model here is which model we are going to use for our face tracking. And if we go down here, was it here, or it was in the other page, I think. Configuration options, run tasks, video options, running mode video. Where is the, I can't find where the options are. Okay, oh shit, it's here. So we will have one face, min face detection confidence. So default values 1, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5. Output blend shapes, we're gonna have this true. Output facial transformation metrics, we are going to have this true, because we want to rotate the head, and also we want to have the blend shapes. I'm gonna copy these two and bring them in my this. I think it should use the default base options. I'm not gonna play with that actually in this case. True. And the other thing should autocomplete was output facial transformation metrics true. Nice. So, and with these options we have our face len marker. What are we going to do with the face len marker is that we are going to make a call to it every frame and get the result, get the blend shape values. Okay. All right, so I have the face len marker where we are going to make requests to get the result of the blend shapes. And now what I want to do is call it every frame. So for face blend shapes, we are going to use use frame. For this one, where was it? Yeah, request animation frame. So this is for face tracking. For playing the blend shapes on the face, we are going to use frame. So I can just copy this, I think, and get back to the project. I'm going to put request. So we need a loop. We need to call one function, and then it should keep calling this like itself, like a recursive manner. So let's call this function predict. I'm going to say const predict arrow function. So predict is gonna make its prediction, and then it's gonna call itself. So they were calling it render loop in that case. In this case, predict is going to call itself next frame. So this is pretty much what we have here. And what I want to do is I want to take the face. Okay, so one issue is going to be that let's, by the way, move it up here, because I won't be able to access it through predict because it's inside the setup function. So let face len marker, the type will be create from options, face len marker. So type is face len marker. We had this, and yeah, so I can actually now use this here. So what we are going to do is we are going to use detect for video method, and it takes two parameters. One is the image source, which is our video that we captured already in setup method and have a variable for it right here. And the second one is timestamp. So what we are going to do is we want to set now in the milliseconds here, so we know what is the current time that we requested this. So I will just say date now. I will call the function. It's going to bring me the time in milliseconds. So we have it set here. Okay, when I go back to the browser, it says model asset buffer might be set, base options. Yeah, I removed that base option part. Probably it doesn't have a default, so we will need to, where is it? We will need to get it from the documentation. So let's go Mediapipe documentation again. Code example web, or I can directly go to, because I don't base of model path. So in the web example, it had the path. I'm gonna go back to code example in CodePen, and let's check what they use. Okay, so base options, storage, Google APIs, Mediapipe model, face landmarker, float 16, blah blah blah. I do not know where this is coming from, but I'm just gonna copy paste it. So this is the model we are using, and we're gonna run it on GPU. So bring it back here, and so it's gonna be inside this options right here. Please do ask me questions if any part is not explained enough. I try to answer all the time, unless you try to make me do your job. So I'm open to answer any questions in the scope of this example. So we have this here. Now when I go to example, it shouldn't say this anymore. Shouldn't. And it doesn't. Great. So that part we covered. And let's get back to the oh, see, I didn't save it. Let's see. It shouldn't. Okay. When we go back to the example about the time, I just set time now, but there is one thing we need to be careful about. Let me find that part. So here in the example, you will see it gets the date time into a variable, then checks the last video time to current video time, and sets the last video time, and then uses the now in milliseconds. What is happening here is that it doesn't want to predict unless the video started, and doesn't want to predict multiple times if the video didn't go further. In this case, this video doesn't have to be you know, the camera feedback. It can be a static video that you addressed. So this is some kind of a, you know, security whatever for that. Let's say I'm just going to, I'll just drop this here and kind of copy exactly what was going on there. So I put my date time now right there. I'm just gonna move it into a variable now. I'm gonna say const now in ms, just like that, and I'm gonna set the value of it to date now. So in an if clause, I'll just copy paste this part. Actually, I'll copy that, bring it here. What the fuck? Bring it here. Nice. So now in millisecond. Yeah, I hate when people paste stuff in tutorials. Now I'm doing the same. It feels kind of bad. But I'm gonna create this variable up here. It is going to be a number. Initial value is going to be -1 because it always goes further in time. So this is going to be my default. So if the last video -1 is not equal to current time, Then we are setting that to the current time. We detect the image, the result from the video, and store it in a variable as well. So I'm just gonna, yeah, we can handle the rest of it here actually. So I'm gonna say const result equals the landmark result, and so it's gonna come back next time if the numbers are the values are equal. Video didn't go further, we do not need to do this, and if it does, then we will do it. So this is pretty much it, and after that, every time it's gonna request predict again. So however, if we try to run this right now, it's not gonna work because we didn't call predict anywhere. Where are we going to call it first is when we finish loading the video. Either this is our static video, or in this case our camera feedback. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call video add event listener, and the event listener I'm gonna load is onloaded data, so it doesn't take the on part, I think. Loaded, yeah, onloaded data. So this means my video is ready and it can start. Then when it does, I'm going to call predict. So what happens is I create my task, I create the landmarker from the options, I await for both of them, and then I make a request for capturing the camera feedback. I can also await for this here, but at this point there's nothing coming afterwards, so we can wait with then. And then when it loads, I call predict, and then it should get things. Let's print console log results. So let's see what we are getting. Let's refresh it. Undefined detect for video. Let's go. Let's see what went wrong. Now in MS, undefined. Why though? Let's see. Video loaded. Boom. Now in MS, video current time. So let's check this here. Result undefined. Global stuff. Whatever. I'm gonna check the last video time, and all right, so let's check face landmarker. Maybe it wasn't set at all. Oh, it's undefined. How is that possible? Face landmarker, where do we have it? Create from options, vision, waiting for it. Didn't we call setup? So I'll just drop this here, and I'm gonna, interesting. Oh god damn. So I made it a global value, a global variable, but what I forgot is I set it to const again. So I wasn't setting it to the global value variable, but local variable again. Shit. So they should work now. Carry on. Yes, so you can see now it's dropping everything in the console. As you can see, not always blend shape values are full, especially if you move your face out of the screen, out of the camera view, or it cannot detect anything, then you will get array 0. We were going to check for those two, but when we go into blend shape values, we can say 52 ARKit blend shapes. All the names are here, all the values are here. So pretty much now we are getting the blend shape feedback from my face being detected. Hard part is done. Now the part is to emit this information onto avatar's face. Let's do it. Cool. And we will go back to the avatar component in this case. So in the avatar component, I want to know my main mesh. Again, with the help of readyplayerme avatar API, you can get avatars multiple meshes or single mesh. So in this case, I'm going to use texture atlasing to be able to, well, get a single mesh avatar. So I do not need to individually play the blend shapes of the face, the mouth, tongue and teeth, and glasses, beard, whatever you have. So don't need to deal with that. What I'm gonna do is just directly use texture atlas to make it single mesh, single material, single size texture atlas with single s. Let's say 1K. This should be all right. And this is going to give me an avatar with single mesh. And that mesh is going to be called Wolf 3D avatar. This is some legacy name because readyplayerme was called Wolf 3D before. Some small information if you didn't know. And I'm going to assign this single mesh into a variable. Let's keep this variable also globally here. I'm going to say let head mesh because yeah, this is what it's going to be. And type is going to be, let's call this any. I can't remember what was the type from the 3JS. I think skinned mesh something. Anyways, so what I want to do is, again, in use effect, I'm going to let me put brackets, no dependencies for now. Head mesh, I'm going to capture this single mesh we have on the head and use it. So in this case, I got all the nodes. Actually, one thing I can quickly do is also let's comment this out and let's print out console log nodes because I want to show you the nodes as well. Nodes, and I'm going to comment this out because I don't want it to throw all the blend shapes all the time. And let's go back to the console. Whoa. Okay, let's restart it. When the avatar is loaded, it is going to drop all the nodes here. And yes, so these are our nodes. All the bones, all the meshes, everything. And so what we have here is armature, head, like all the bone names. You can see their types, all these bones, all these 3D objects, whatever. So, and at the bottom, you can see a skinned mesh type, which is called Wolf 3D avatar. This is exactly what I need. Blend shapes are on this guy. So we can actually access, where are those? So morph target dictionaries, the names of the blend shapes and their indices, and depending on their indices, their values. This is where we are going to get the ID from, and this is where we are going to set the value at. So let's go. So uncommenting this, so what I needed was nodes dot wolf 3D underscore capital avatar, only a capital. So, and of course what I want to do is, if anything with the nodes change, I want to use effect to fire again, because which is not going to happen, but again, which is one of the dependencies because we have it in here. This is great. Now is the part about updating the blend shapes every time. So use frame comes in handy in this case. This is just like use effect. It doesn't get a dependency list at the end, but it gives you two parameters. First one is the state and second one is the delta time. So we are not going to use the first one, but we are going to use the delta. So I'm getting that. So also let's include this quick fix import from React 3 Fiber, and there we have it. So in this case, what I want to do is to get the head node, neck node, and spine node, and then set the rotations of them from the transportation matrix of the head that we received in the result. And also for each blend shape that exists on the head in the result, I want to update those blend shapes. So let's do it. I have my results. So first, let's start with the head rotation maybe. So this is the simplest thing to start with. In the result here, let me remove this comment actually. So let's get here and get the transformation matrix. Result has this facial transformation matrix array. Why this is an array is that we could request multiple faces and it could detect multiple faces on the video, and it could turn us, you know, like an array of those transformation matrix values. So in this case, we have single face. We're going to use a 0 index, and the data field of it is going to give us the thing we want. This is a bit of a math thing. You can store scale, rotation, and position of an object inside a 4x4 16 item matrix. So the information is stored there. Thankfully, we do not need to do complex math ourselves. The 3JS libraries has support for it, so it brings us the things we want. What I'm gonna use here is, so I'm gonna extract the matrix first. So const matrix, say n. I'm gonna create a new matrix. This is matrix 4 from 3JS, and I'm gonna get it from an array because this data is a number array. It doesn't give us a matrix type. I'm gonna first turn it into 3JS matrix from array, and let's cut this here and put it in here. So I'm gonna put like an exclamation mark here just to, you know, like send null if it's empty, something like that. So this is one of the new JavaScript things you can use. And we have the matrix now. Why we did that is that we can actually extract rotation, position, and scale using 3JS types to get the results. So I can actually get const rotation equals rotation type will be in this case Euler. So I'm gonna say new Euler, and this is gonna be from matrix, from rotation matrix. And so I'm gonna send my matrix inside. So what it does is I turned array into a matrix, and then with Euler types from rotation matrix function, I can actually send a matrix in and get the rotation. I'm not gonna make the same mistake again. I'm gonna store this rotation as a global value. So let rotation is an Euler type. Euler, I don't know, some people call it Euler, Euler. Yeah, this is here. So I got the rotation. I showed you that we had the nodes for head, spine, like Mixamo style bone names and all. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna get to the nodes, and let's say head was one of the nodes. I'm gonna set its rotation set, and so I can say global value rotation with rotation X, rotation Y, and rotation Z. So I have them, and let's see if this is gonna work. Whoa, all right. Okay, oh, data. So sometimes data is coming sometimes data is coming null. So I think I'm gonna put it into if and say that if transformation matrix length is actually 0, something like that. Oh, let's say is not null and is length is longer than 0, because it might be empty array. So is .len. I think this should help. This use before it's assigned. What? What? I think I don't need to do this anymore. Oh, forgot the curly bracket here. Okay, nice. So there should not be any error at the moment. So if it arrives null, it's just not going to do anything. All right, head rotation is here. In the first example I showed, which I'm going to push into GitHub, that I already have some spine neck values set as well. I can quickly show you what I did, and you can find the polished version in there. So neck, and let's say spine 1 it was called. And so I do not want to rotate them all the same. I want to add a little, let's say you know, like say 1/3 of it I apply. So I'm dividing actually all of them by 3. I think there might be some kind of scalar division method. You don't need to do this way. It's like a very lazy and, you know, ugly way to do this. So why I do this is, so it's gonna rotate from the shoulders. It's gonna look nicer if it works. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, now you can see like shoulders are moving a bit. Like it's not just neck goes like this, but you can actually, you know, even though if I do this, it will still move around, but it looks a bit more natural. You can tweak it, you know, like find the right values for you. But yeah, I like this a little more, so it's like less static. You can make the shoulders move, you know, like less, divide it with larger value, apply them others differently. This is it. And of course, let's do the blend shapes. Just like the rotation, I'm gonna create let blend shapes, not capital shapes. This is gonna be any array, and default should be empty array. I can't remember shapes. Okay, and yeah, we got the rotation there. What I'm gonna do is set the blend shapes to result. That face blend shapes 0, because again multiple, and categories is going to be what I'm getting, and categories is going to be the array as well. So this is going to be what I get. I think I should do the same here, like results should, again, not a nice way to do this, like it's getting like longer and longer if case I do not like to do this, but for the sake of quickly handling that. So we check all of those. If none of them complies, it's not gonna get into if. And this is it. What was the type of category? So let's check the category. Score, index, category name. So category name is gonna be our blend shape name. Score will be the blend shape value. Well, we are set. So I have my blend shapes now. And here, I'm gonna loop through the blend shapes using for each, because if it's empty, if there's nothing, it's gonna loop at all, and the default value is 0, so like empty array, so it should work for each. And let's say blend shape is going to be the item we pick from it. So now I have my blend shape. First thing I want to do is from the head mesh, I'm going to access morph target dictionary, and from the name of this blend shape, I'm going to find the index. So let's say let index equals head mesh. This is the Wolf 3D avatar mesh we had with the blend shapes on it. It has two important parts: morph target dictionary, morph target influences. And morph target dictionary T1RE. So since we didn't set the type of it, I cannot directly access to it. This is the bad part. Head mesh, where did we set that actually? So this is an object as skinned mesh. I think this should work, right? So let's check this way. Morph targets. I'm gonna use this up here too. T geometry. I hope this works. I kind of recall that previously I did something like that, didn't work. Okay, it does work. Cool. So the blend shapes category name, it was called blend shape. Again, maybe we can set the blend shapes type as well. So categories, it's a blend shapes, it's a category array. So let's not make it any array, but category array, and category will be coming from Mediapipe. Nice. And so category name. So if you find this is going to use it, what is the issue? Possibly undefined. I'm gonna use as or I can put maybe if case here. Morph target dictionary. What was the type of this? Key number, blah blah blah. I'm gonna just put this exclamation mark too. Shut it up. Yeah, this should work. Again, if it's if there's nothing, I don't know. Let's see it break. If index is greater or equal to 0, because 0 index could be one of the blend shapes too. I'm going to say head mesh dot morph target influences. So I know the index. Now I can actually set the value in there, and the value will be blend shapes, the blend shape we picked in the for each loop, and its score. And again, I'm going to put the exclamation mark in here to shut it up. Let's save it. We should see the face moving. Let's refresh this. Waiting. Please work. All right. Morph target dictionary cannot read undefined. Cannot read undefined. Then I'm gonna put it into an if case. I'm gonna put the whole thing in an if case here. So let's say you guys are, I think, all right. We already worked. So I'm gonna put these, and I'm gonna say if head mesh, if head mesh is null, not equal, null or undefined. I think this should work. I guess. Maybe it will not. Please work. Didn't. Adding put blah 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 for node, something with the face mesh didn't work this time. It used to do. Let's see. Oh, all right. It is working. Closing my eyes and stuff. Testing. Whoa. So, as you can see, this works perfectly. All right. Do we have anything left? Adding the URL. So let's quickly do that too. It's been already 1 hour, another 1 hour long tutorial. I know you're gonna hate me for this, but let's just do it. So input field, avatar component here, input field here, handle on change. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create here React state. So const URL slash set comma set URL equals use state, and the default value is going to be the URL we used. Where is it? Yeah, this guy. So I'm gonna keep this part, the parameters. I'm gonna just cut this, and I'm actually going to make this like that, and I want to pass URL as a URL string. So I'm gonna pass a string parameter in here, which is gonna be URL, and here too, let's say URL. I'm just trying to go quick at the moment because we already almost passed 1 hour. I don't want to take more of your time. So I'm going to pass URL into avatar component. I'm going to put it here. Regardless, it's going to have ARKit blend shapes, and it's going to be texture atlas 1K. And use state is going to come from React string type. You can add the generic to it as well, string, to make it nicer. And of course, when this value of the input field changes, it sets the, it's gonna be like event, something like that, I think, and event dot target dot value, or only target. I can't remember really. So let me actually, on change is HTML input element, input event, something like that it should be. On change event. Okay, it should be change event then. So change event. Does it bring anything? Yeah, so target dot value, change event, event target, synthetic event, data. Okay, it's not value, it's data. Is it? Oh my god, I can't really remember. I'm just gonna Google it. So event target value. Okay, this is exactly what I said. Value. Okay, I'm just gonna say any. Let's see if it works. So TypeScript is good. It's also kind of annoying sometimes. I'm just gonna go to readyplayerme, go to my avatars, and I'll just pick something random here. So let's pick him. Nice hair. Let's refresh this. Oh, what is not working again? The URL. Let's check. Let's enter, not enter. URL. The default value is. Yeah, of course we didn't set the default URL. Okay, I'm just gonna use this as default URL, and I'm gonna pick another avatar. This is the default value. This is what we pass into the avatar component, and avatar component takes this and loads the avatar. It's just the primitive object. What is the problem? There shouldn't be any problem. think I messed up something again, but what? Morph targets, ARKit, texture atlas, 1K, URL. Passing the URL. Is there any other URL type? Smalls. readyplayerme GLB. Alert. I think something with this guy is happening. This can't be an object, it's a string. Oh, okay. It seems that I need to just put the curly braces here too, because otherwise it gets the URL as the whole props object, even though I provide its type as this. So it doesn't, how to say, divide it into smaller pieces like the fields of the object, but sends the whole thing. So it was a URL object, not the field itself. Sorry about that. It took some time, but let's load it. Let's go. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load another avatar from the URL. Come on. Okay, morph target dictionary. Yeah, it gave me some error, but okay, it works. So probably we need to put some more if else cases some other places to get this working. I'm going to copy, let's get one of these guys. Let's get this guy. Copy GLB URL. I will just paste this here. Boom. It's coming. And yeah, so this is going to work on any readyplayerme avatar you have. Of course, I'm a bit far away from the camera. I have beard. Predictions are not that good on my face, but if you have a baby face, if you have better camera quality and you're closer to the camera, this is going to do much better. readyplayerme avatars have, they support and they have ARKit blend shapes already if you request it with the right parameters using our avatar API, and you can use face tracking in the web. This project with some updates and fixes is going to be in GitHub. I'm gonna drop all the necessary URLs in the comment section, not the comment section, but the description of it. So you will be able to find everything there. So this looks really cool, and maybe we take a look at the other Mediapipe things later. But for now, face tracking with readyplayerme on the web is just 1 hour tutorial. Yeah, maybe it could have been shorter, but sorry about that. Live programming has problems like that, and I'm not gonna talk more. Have a nice day.